Hello everybody, my name is Mason and today we are talking about Obi-Wan Episode 3. I'm going to go ahead and say right off the bat that I will not be talking about any spoiler related stuff in the beginning of this video, but then later I will start talking about the whole episode in detail, including everything that happened. And so if you haven't watched the episode yet, you're going to want to go ahead and just stop at that point. But up until then, we can talk about it. You won't get any details or anything, just my non-spoiler thoughts on the episode. So let's get into it. So I'm just going to go out and say I really like this episode. It is not my favorite episode of the series so far. I still think personally episode 1 has been my favorite. But this is really good and it's very character driven again, which is nice. But then there's just this really good added tension in this episode that none of the episodes really had before. A big chunk of it just has tension and I love that. It had my heart going there for a little bit, and you just know that everybody's going to be okay, at least the characters that you want to be okay, because Star Wars continues on, but they still managed to have me tense, which, Deborah Chow, good job on that direction right there. I mean, you really know how to give some good tension there. Action in this episode is also pretty good. There's some stuff that I was a little but otherwise, I mean, Star Wars usually has pretty good action, so I do like that. But I can't really think of any negatives of this episode. Let's see. I don't think I have any negatives. We'll just go ahead and say that because, again, I thought this episode was really good. Honestly, this whole series so far has been really good. It's not a series that we really needed, right? But I think that it's giving its time to just be there and be good, and that's really all we could have asked for at this point, because it's not a show we needed, but it's a show we deserve, right? Yeah, so those are my quick non-spoiler thoughts on the episode. Good action, great tension, and yeah, I'm excited for part 4. So anyway, if you have to leave this video now after watching because you haven't seen the episode yet, then I will see you later when you come back to this video to talk spoilers with us. But if you need to go ahead and leave a like on this video and subscribe, all that stuff. But now, my people who have watched the episode, we're going to talk about Obi-Wan in complete spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Let's just go ahead and get the big thing right off the bat, and that is Obi-Wan and Vader confronted each other. Well, more or less, Vader confronted Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan clearly wanted no part in that whatsoever. You could see it in the fight. He was just, I need to get away, I thought the fight was good. It wasn't what I was anticipating, and it's honestly earlier than I was anticipating. I was anticipating them to be fighting probably in episode 5 or 6. So, I mean, they might fight again, who knows. But I was anticipating, real, both of them are fighting, and then Obi-Wan just leaves, because he doesn't want to kill him for whatever reason. But that's not what we got. We got him just trying to get away, right? Which was probably the best move for where the character is at this point in his life. And you could tell he is not the same warrior that he was. which is good. I mean, 10 years of not having any practice, obviously, you're gonna be at a disadvantage, to say the least. Uh, but it was good, and it was pretty gruesome what Vader did to him. I mean, holding him up and just dragging him down in the fire and sliding him across. I was like, yeah, he's pissed, obviously, because dude is stuck in a freaking suit of armor like that. You know, it's all his fault essentially. So that was cool. The other action stuff that I like was the shootout stuff at that checkpoint thing, and like seeing the stormtrooper fall on the laser and just get cut in half. I was like, I wasn't expecting that. Definitely glad that it happened. I thought that was really cool. So action in this episode, for the most part, was pretty good. I also talked about tension in this episode. I thought the tension specifically when he's, Obi-Wan and Leia are on the transport truck thing, right? And they're riding along, they get picked up, and then the stormtroopers get inside there, and the tension in that scene was so good. It's just them having to quickly come up with stories to, protect themselves from these stormtroopers. It seemed so chaotic, but it just worked out. It's like barely getting by, gosh. I mean, you know that they're going to be fine, right? Because, again, this is the problem with prequels, but you know they're fine because they come later, but for whatever reason, I was still like, oh man, are they gonna get caught? And obviously, Obi-Wan ran into a little trouble a little bit later with Vader, which also was that kind of rhymed, or I guess it did rhyme. The tension with the whole Vader stuff in walking through that street. And Obi-Wan just watching Vader murder people and children because you hear the one person go, "Dad!" And then they just get slammed to the wall and then their neck snapped. I was like, sheesh. You watch Obi-Wan just realize he is murdering these innocent people. Like, there's no saving him yet. It was... The tension in that scene is also incredible. It's just Vader is scary, This is Vader that we've all imagined. We got that great scene of Vader in Rogue One. We got that great scene, I guess there's a couple scenes of Vader in Rogue One that was just, Vader, right? So seeing more of that in this episode was awesome. Speaking of Vader, there was also the scene towards the beginning where he's talking with Reva, that's her name, the third sister. I thought that was awesome. Just him saying, like, if you succeed, you will be by my side, but if you fail, you will not live to regret it. I thought that was badass. Vader does not let anybody mess with him. Ugh. Hayden Christensen, I love him being back. I know it was James Earl Jones being the voice, but still, seeing him back briefly. Actually, that's another thing. So we saw him in the distance, the little vision of Anakin with the cloak on, and I was like, that's my guy, Hayden Christensen right there. Overall, all this spoiler stuff now talked about, I thought this was a good episode. Good character. Obi-Wan, not the warrior he once was, having to decide whether or not he should confront Vader, and then when he does end up having to confront him, he runs away, and then he's like trying to just get away, I thought that was good, and I'm excited for the next episode now that Leia has been captured yet again by Reva. So, yeah, overall, good episode. and I cannot wait for the next one. Anyways, until next time, leave a like on this video if you want to see more content like this. Comment down below what you thought about the episode, and subscribe for more as always. Take care.